Hello guys, welcome to your fourth Java tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to go over user input, but before that I want to go over the challenges that I gave you guys in the last tutorial. So I believe the first challenge was to print out this face here in exactly 4 lines of code. Now as you can see here, the only trick to getting this to work with 4 lines of code instead of 3 is to break this first line up into 2 parts. So the first statement was simply a print to print this thing right here, and then the second line was a println to print this on the same line, and then move the cursor to a new line since it's a println. So simply these 2 lines are the only key thing to getting this to work in 4 instead of 3. Kind of repeating myself there, but anyways, let's move on to the next challenge, which I believe was to use the 2 numbers 34 and 23 and kind of print out their their difference, and their product. So really all you can see, as you can see, all I really did here was create integer I, integer j, and found there's some difference in product as I plus j, I minus j, and I times j. I printed out I, a single space in quotes, and j to get this little display here, and then I printed out the sum, the difference, and the product. Yeah, I believe I might have went over this before, but I don't think I really have. This is called string combinations right here. This is how you can combine certain integers and string values into one big final string, and then you can print them out. So really, all we really did here, we used the plus sign here to get the value of I, which was 34, as you can see here. To get, in quotes we had a single space to put like a little space between this the 2 numbers right here. Failing. There we go. And then we simply added this j on, which is 23, and that's right here. So string combinations, yeah, don't worry, you guys will get used to them as you see them appear more frequently in code. Yeah. So anyways, let's delete those challenge answers, and let's get right on to the main part of this code. Well, anyways, guys, to get user input, or really all the user input we want to get right now, we just want to get text from the user. That's all we really want. So to actually get this, we need to have a certain tool, a very important tool, or a class that'll allow us to do this. And we need to import this from the massive Java library. And how you would do that is simply by, at the very beginning of the program, put import and then java.util.scanner. And scanner is the class or tool that will help us scan text in from the user, or scan text in from the keyboard, which is what we're really going to do. We'll get to that later in this tutorial. So anyways, what we're really doing here, we're importing from the Java library, from the utilities folder, we're importing the scanner variable. That's really all we're doing. And as you can see, it's underlined that it's not used. Well, let's use it, guys. Let's do this. So what we actually need to do, and type this code I'm typing right now, what we need to do is create an instance of this scanner class in order for us to use it. Now I've just typed a lot of code on here, and what this is basically saying is that we need to have a myscan variable of type scanner. So okay, remember the integer variables that we were doing in the last tutorial? So we had like a variable I of type integer. It's an integer. Well, here we have the same thing. We have myscan of type scanner. Right? Kind of the same concept here. And we're setting it equal to a new scanner variable, and then system.in in parentheses. Well, that's kind of strange, isn't it? Well, really what goes in parentheses here is what we want the scanner variable to scan stuff in from. So where does it take its text from? Well, scanner variables can be used to scan text in from files, from your keyboard, from different sources. And what we really want to do right now is scan it in from the keyboard. Now, what Java sees your keyboard as, it sees it as system.in. So system.in is our keyboard, and we want this myScan variable, it's a scanner variable, to scan stuff in from your keyboard. That's really all that's going on right now. So kind of just break that down, right? Break that down in your head and get that solid. Get that concept down. Yeah, I know I'm kind of being way too repetitive. Anyways, let's move on to the next part here. And what we want to do now that we've actually created our myScan variable, we want to first prompt the user. Let's say we want the user's name, correct? Well, we should probably give him a nice little user-friendly prompt here for him to enter his name. Enter your name, and let's actually scan this in. Well, exactly how do we do that? Well, I'll show you guys right now. We need to create a string name, which is named, in this case, name, and we need to set it equal to myscan.next. Alright, so what exactly does this do, guys? Well, what we are doing here is we're creating a variable name of type string, and we're setting it equal to myscan.next. Well, next actually, first. Next is a method any scanner variable has, and as we can see, myscan is a scanner variable, in fact. And what next does is it allows the user to enter stuff through his keyboard. So now the keyboard becomes active, and the user can type stuff in by the use of his keyboard. And what next does is it waits until the user presses enter. And as soon as he presses enter, it takes the text that he entered, and then it stores it in the variable name. So in this case, we want him to enter his name, and then he starts typing his text, and he presses enter, and then it takes the stuff that he typed, and it stores in the variable name. That's all we really need right now. Now, once we've gotten his name, let's display it on the screen. Simply by printing another line of text. And using our string combinations, we can say hello and then plus name. We can say hello blank, and to add on to that, we can even add more. You can have an exclamation point, a space, and a how are you today. Alright, beautiful, beautiful. I'm loving this. So anyways, let's first run this program, and I'll quickly run over it as soon as it's finished running. So anyways, hit the play button there, hit OK, enter your name, and notice there's no little terminated kind of symbol here because the program's still running. It's waiting for us to enter our name. The cursor's blinking, so let me enter a fake name. Let's see, Bob, and then shabam, look at that, beautiful. Hello, Bob. How are you today? Absolutely fantastic. And as you notice, this works with anything we enter. So we can say Ty. Hello, Ty. How are you today? It's an Australian name. William, British name. Hello, William. How are you today? You know, it's great. All right. Anyways, quickly, let's run back to this code and review it. So what we first did is we imported the Java, and in the Java library, the utilities folder, we imported the scanner tool. And if you actually take this import statement out, you'll notice that we're getting a bunch of errors here, and it says that it's not imported. anyways, once we actually have that imported, a shebang right here. Once we have that imported, we can start using it, and we created a myScan variable of type scanner. We set it equal to a new scanner variable that scans stuff in from our keyboard or system.in. Then we gave him a nice little prompt, and we used myscan.next, which is a method that allows the user to type stuff in and waits for him to press the enter key. Once he presses the enter key, it takes the text he typed, and we're setting the text he typed equal to this name string variable. So now that we have his name, we're simply going to print out a nice little, greeting message here for him to feel welcome. And yeah, that's really all we did, guys. And let me see how much time I have left right now. Okay, guys, we do not have much time left right now, and I am going to give you your challenge kind of exercise right now. And your challenge exercise is to create a program that uses multiple prompts to fetch information from the user. So say one of these prompts could be, what's your favorite color? The other one could be, what shoes do you like, or something. And then at the very end, you create a little quick summary using these string combinations I told you guys about, with the plus signs and stuff, and the quotes, the strings in quotes. Using that, you need to quickly display a message that summarizes all his information, and really just try to have at least 3 characteristics there, and there's really no limits. So anyways, guys, I will continue the tutorial on the scanner variable in the next tutorial, and cover topics how to scan in integers, and how the program needs to treat them as integers instead of strings, as we did in this tutorial. That's kind of like, I need to elaborate on that, and I will do that in the next tutorial. Anyways, guys, work on the challenge exercise for now, and I will see you in the next tutorial, and which I will let out as soon as I can. Anyways, guys, comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.